Over the last 15 years, opportunities for these young players have skyrocketed.
When I played high school baseball, there wasn't nearly as much opportunity as there is in today's baseball game for these players. I actually didn't have a ton of opportunity when I was in high school. I did have a great high school coach that did the best that he could, but his resources and his network of college baseball coaches was pretty limited.
And with opportunities come heightened challenges.
When you have opportunities, you also have obstacles. And I think the bigger obstacles are the ideas that how do I attain these things? How do I get to these things? So when we talk about these opportunities come with a price tag. And we're looking at a game that used to be about going out in your backyard and playing wiffle ball with your friends or stickball with your friends. I mean, I know that's how I grew up, is every family gathering, it was a wiffle ball tournament in grandma's backyard. And all of my guy friends in the neighborhood, like grabbing a stickball bat and going and playing. And that's how you really got better. And it wasn't about training and paying a trainer for my hitting lessons and paying a trainer for my fielding lessons and paying a trainer for my strength and conditioning lessons. And then my parents are having to afford $25,000, $30,000 in travel every year, so that essentially the money invested is a college tuition before getting to college. And that's really the biggest obstacle, right? Is like, if you have the money, then you have the opportunity. But there's a lot of kids who don't have the money who deserve the opportunity.
As you get more opportunities, you have more responsibilities. Things like social media, everybody wants instant gratification. The cost of these opportunities obviously increase as well as you get more. So I think it's one of those things where you have to be prepared, finding ways to sacrifice as a family to make sure that your son or daughter has the opportunity to do the things that they want to do athletically is a big struggle now.
We found out very quickly in our early years of Power Baseball the variety and abundance of challenges that some of our players had behind closed doors. And answering the call to lean in have created some of the most rewarding relationships we've been able to build to date.
We were doing a lot of things on our own end to make sure players didn't lose some opportunities. We flew players out to Arizona to take part in the PG National. We've had our staff driving people around on their visits because the family wasn't able to, and ends up getting an offer to play big-time college baseball because of that. And if it wasn't for the sacrifices of our coaching staff, some of these opportunities wouldn't be able to happen. And so our goal was to find a way to do this at a bigger take. And honestly, just the opportunity to start the foundation was the opportunity to help more kids.
However, the idea to help out our players in need of some extra assistance wasn't the only form of motivation to start this foundation. As high school coaches, we know and appreciate the value that playing within our community has on players' lives and their careers. We also had plenty of experience that high school programs start every year from scratch with a $0 budget.
Being a former high school baseball coach, you're showing up with the same guys, the same coaches, and it's more of that family atmosphere. You're creating those lifelong bonds with each other together. Obviously, to build those experiences, you need money, you need resources. Power Baseball wants to be there to lean on when those coaches need those types of things.
As a high school coach, I know how difficult it was to get the proper funds to run a really good program. Our players wear two hats. They wear a Power Baseball hat in the summer and the fall, and then they also wear their high school hat in the spring. So our goal at Power Baseball was to help all arms of their baseball career for our players, and that's why we make donations to local high schools to make sure that they have some help in their funding to make sure the players get the best environment in all aspects.
In just under 4 years, the Power Baseball Foundation has been able to donate nearly $250,000 to local high school programs, financial aid scholarships, and other forms of assistance within the baseball community, while also facilitating a youth league, motivational presentations to high school programs. And all of this has been able to happen because of the supports that many of you have provided. But now we are expanding our reach.
When Lassiter and Brian approached me, it was full weight of all power behind softball, that we're not going to do this a little bit, we're going to do this all the way, which means we want the education, we want the opportunity, and we want to help financially the girls who deserve those things and don't have the finances to do it. And I'm really excited that I get to be a part of that.
As a dad of a daughter, I've seen all the opportunities that are given to young male athletes, and I want my daughter and all the other daughters to be afforded the opportunity to have the same opportunities and grow the games that they love and be successful.
What we have found is that leadership qualities built on the diamond has potentially even a larger impact in women's sports than it does in men's.
If you don't know, 52% of C-suite women employees are former college athletes, and at a higher take than that, 94% of those C-suite women in the business actually at least played up to high school sports. So we know what kind of large role that athletics plays in not just your athletic life, but also your academic and leadership. And we're excited to be able to help those young ladies and young men learn the proper leadership and lessons that they've learned through sports and put it into real life.
Moving forward, the Power Baseball Foundation will be known under another name, the Power Sports Foundation. This right here is a gesture to show publicly our commitment is equal to the girls in softball, just as it always has been to the boys in baseball. We are excited about expanding this reach and being able to help all young athletes, regardless of whether they're male or female. Now, we are asking you to join us, alumni, friends of the organization, and anyone who is grateful for the relationships the game has facilitated in your life. Join us so we can invest into these young men and women and help build tomorrow's leaders.